Hey, everybody. Welcome to another fantastic Thursday here. Uh, let's see who all's out there. We got my evil twin out there. Yeah, I got a couple other people in the just hanging around out there. No one else commenting yet. So, hey, if you're there, let me know who you are and what's on your mind. That's what this is all about. Is someone just three watching now? So say hi, let me know what's on your mind, and we'll talk about whatever's on your mind. Blue Healer, hey, how's it going today? Yeah, it's been an interesting week here. The way the snow's been coming and going and melting, and finally got it all melted off the roof and all cleaned up around one side of the house. And then now we got a 30% chance today and 80% chance tomorrow. And then it clears up again on Saturday. And then we got 60% on Sunday and 40% on Monday. So it's going to be an interesting time here. Oh, where am I? There we are. Get that back over here. Not much on your mind, us. Yeah. Now, I was surprised, pleasantly surprised, with what happened in Virginia, with everything being nice and calm, and hey, eggs and bacon, and nobody doing anything stupid. I found out through unofficial sources that there were 4 buses that had mechanical problems. Hey, Scott. It's Robert and Cindy. Hey, guys. I found out there were 4 buses of troublemakers that had mechanical problems, and they never made it to Virginia. So I'm not saying, I can't say who did that because my sources is refusing to tell me with a wink and a nudge. And but yes, somebody did not want the problems to go down, and they went and assisted their mechanical problems. But yeah, so the agitators that never showed up, that's why, because several busloads stopped. Yeah, it was a great rally from what I could see. There have been several channels on here that were there that I follow that were putting out videos of it. Most notably was Ryan from Prescott Caliber Club, and yeah, he said it was things of everything he showed was normal for a big rally. Confusion, congestion, but it was peaceful. Nothing really going on, so that was really cool. Hey, so let's do a quick weather check. Well, what's the weather like in your area right now, guys? I'm really interested to see what it's like down there in LA, up 300 feet in the air. That would be Scott. Yeah, I guess some of the guys farther up north here in North Idaho are really got some heavy duty snow up there. Some were, I mean, some of the videos I've been watching from up there, it's you're looking at 3 feet of snow up there, in the areas they've cleaned off and stuff. Morning, Lori. Cool, thanks. Yeah, Lori's one of the ones that's always going back. She's trying to get and she's doing pretty good on it too. It's on the my watch hour giveaway. Hey, Scott. Well, tell you what, yeah, you when you get up here next winter, you'll have all the winter you want, and you'll be after about 6 weeks of it, you'll be going, I want some sunshine. Okay, so rain and freezing rain mix expected for the next 2 days in Missouri. Hey, Mary, how's it going? Um, yeah, so Scott has 60 degrees and he's sick of it. He wants real one now. Swinging iron. Cold and wet in North Texas. Sunny and 29 in northern Nevada. Yeah, it's actually, what was the temperature outside here? It's 29 degrees here in southeast Idaho. Wind is 1 mile an hour, heading, oh, it's slightly off. It's heading towards the north-northwest instead of the north-northeast, but it's still coming from the south heading north. And we got humidity's 82%. I don't think so. It's too dry. It's foggy where Lori is, and it's 5 degrees. So Canada is a bit colder than the rest of us. So I don't know how many of you have had a chance to check out Mary. Mary is doing a little bit of homesteading on her own there. Check out her channel. She's getting this. She just had her first live a little while ago, I guess, a couple days ago. I was talking to Mark, and Mark told me about her. And so I went over there and subscribed to her a couple days ago. Lori, that's short weather. What are you talking? I'm sorry. I don't wear shorts even in the summertime. Yeah. Yeah, my cousin, when we used to live in Northern California, there by in the San Francisco Bay Area, my cousin Debbie, she used to, she's complaining about Texas because it's at Christmas time because it's clear. Well, when she grew up in where we were in Northern California there, it was always foggy at Christmas, and so our white Christmas was white fog, and was she's down there, oh, it's not Christmas time, it's not foggy. Morning, Heaven's Essential. Welcome here. So okay, so yeah, what do you guys have on your mind this week? Anything you want in particular that's interesting, questionable, besides the government? Well, I shouldn't say the government, I should say the quote elected representatives who think there are leaders. Sunny preps, heading into work. All right, we'll try to keep it interesting for you. Yeah, one of the things I've been doing, I've been working a little bit on our 5-year plan here for the homestead here. Each year what we're going to be working on, what our final goals are in 5 years, and that way we can get everything rolling in a timely manner and get everything done. Oh, Lori, yeah, putting the cats on a diet, and I bet they're all the time going meow, meow, meow. Yeah, live streams can be great one time, and the next week can be a little, but all in all, I think they're a good way for us to get together and So word I'm looking for. Build a community, basically, of good people. Yeah. Soon as the snow disappears here, my daughter's going to be rebuilding her beds, and I'm going to go out there and help her. They tried little small ones and finally realized no, they need to go make them some nice long ones, make them tall enough, and get proper use out of all the lumber they have. So, Acres and Bacons, in 5 years, where do you plan to be? Still in northern Nevada, or are you planning on heading someplace else? Okay, trying to catch up here on this chat. Something slipped by there, and so the sovereign citizens, when the balloon goes up, whatever you want to call it, the big event. Um, Not sure what's going to happen to them. It'll be interesting to see what they do. Good morning, good simple living. There is a family that is in the process of moving to northern Idaho. They selling their house in Oregon. Was it Washington? And moving them with their kids and all their rabbits and other stuff to up there to northern Idaho. Uh, okay, it's a nice size planter bed. Heaven Essentials. Neat. Um, Meat birds. Oh shoot. Trying to remember what my daughter had there. Several of the other homesteading channels use the same ones. They're the white one, Cornish, not a Cornish. Oh man, I can't think of them right now. If I think of it, I will fire it back out there again. Good and simple. It was moving from Washington to northern Idaho. All right, Lori, no knee surgery. Cool. Yeah, it's like I moved up here. Moved up. Well, we bought the place in here in Idaho in 2016. My daughter and her family's been here. Hey, Tibor, Sunny J Shores, and so we moved up here in 2000. We bought the place 2016. In October, my daughter moved in. My wife and I have been coming up on making long weekend trips now and then, inspecting the place, working on pruning some of the stuff, trying to get it cleaned up. And then I came up here full time in September, and to spend a full winter up here to see what it's like to figure out what we need to do for um, get the place what way we want it for us for our retirement. And so that's part of the 5-year plan I'm working on is things that need to get done, things we need to do. We bought a Ford 9N tractor, and that's one of those old ones, and it's okay for just going in a straight line, and for brush hogging and using the landscape rake and the drag box behind it. But we also got then we went and got a small Coyote tractor, a 24 horsepower. It's okay. It's great. It has a little backhoe on it. I've done a lot of work with it, but I'm discovering I really needed something a little bit bigger with a cab on it, especially in the wintertime. And so right now I'm looking and shopping for a another Coyote, but I want to get a 34 to 40 horsepower one with the quick change bucket on the front, so I can change off the bucket and I can put grapples on it, or I can put whatever I want to do is put the big snow blower on there, so I can keep our place clean and easier, get it clean and keep the road around our property all blown clean as well. Yeah. Yeah, Lori, Scott's right. About Scott Hidden Valley Homestead. Idaho's great. Before we spent a couple of years looking to see where we were going to go to from California, and we looked at quite a few states and stuff, but Idaho just was so much better than a lot of the other places we were looking at. Yeah, we looked down in Arizona and New Mexico, but the lack of water down there really bothered me. And I lived in Arizona for a couple of years in high school, and I even looked back in West Virginia and Pennsylvania. It just really wasn't for us. That's what I like so much about Idaho. I mean, it's it's open carry. It's no permit concealed carry. It's conservative, and so it's basically follow the Constitution, families first type stuff. Well, Lori, yeah, if you stick around for the full thing, yeah, it counts as full. It will count as a full view time for the giveaway that I got going for view time giveaway. Well, that's good to hear. The JC, shit happens. Yeah, just so long as when you do have to fire up the Kubota with a plow on it, don't let the shit stir on it. That could be very interesting. Yeah, Lori, once you're down here and you're a resident, if you come to the United States, depending on the state, it's really easy. You just go in, show your ID, and you can get a gun. And I guess that's one of the things you can't do up there in Canada. Yeah. All right, hold on. What was Scott giving Eggers and Bacon the bad time about? I gotta go back up here real quick here. Oh, Idaho's full. No, it's not, Scott. We need good people here. Morning, Kathy. So, Kathy Northstar, prep setter. Simply Jan. Good morning. Whiskey Scout. Hey. Hello from Kansas. All right. Good to have you in here. Yes. Yeah. There are some really good places to live all across the United States. Kansas, Oklahoma, Texas, all nice places. West Virginia. When I was in West Virginia for a while, I was up in a town called Buchanan, West Virginia. It's the home of the Strawberry Festival. It was really nice. Really great people there. Too close to the swamp for me, though. You know. Okay, Tibor. I didn't know that. The 44373 form. I believe that's the one you have to fill out to when you purchase the gun. But that's if you're buying it, you know, like, all right, I know here in Idaho, whenever you buy one from a dealer, you got to fill it out, but sales between people don't require it. Yeah, so you know, Lori, there are a lot of great places in the United States. There's some that are under fire. You could not pay me. I mean, you could pay me. You'd have to pay me $10 million a year to live in New York City, because that's what it would cost for me to have the place I want there to be safe from everything going on around it. Uh, um, your comments, Sunny J Shores. Your comments in this stream here aren't showing up. Some of them aren't. What's going on here? Got your good morning at 9:19, and then the other one at 9:21. Yeah. I don't think anyone in here would be willing to live in New York City, really. I don't think we're that type of people. Yeah, yeah, Tibor. Now, there's one thing though. I've come to realize that there are two types um, of the Dems. There's your real American Democrats, the hardworking, common person, and then there's your Democrats. Now, the Democrats are the ones that think they are our leaders when they're supposed to be our representatives that have been elected to to work the will of the people, not their own private agenda to become more rich, more secure in their power, and more dictatorship like. Now you want the prairies, so you want to go out there to Kansas or Oklahoma, some nice areas like that. Lori. The only comment is the one that included a channel. Huh. Yeah. So, Missouri, the only time I was in Missouri was a drive-through back when I was a teenager. Um, that was summer of '74. We my sister and her family and my mom, dad, and my brother, we all went to Disney World in an RV. My sister rented this big, huge RV, and we drove down and we drove across the United States and went through a lot of different states. and we just, passed through Missouri, so I didn't see much of it back when I was, 16. Yeah, it may have been. I was just thinking it may have been Missouri where we got the heavy rain on us, and our tents that we set up outside um the the RV for the night kind of floated away. Yeah, Lori. Well, Tibor says tornadoes are a thing in the prairie lands, but hey, even up here in Idaho, we can get a tornado. I think it's been a year since they had a tornado up here. Even in California in the Central Valley, they'll get a tornado once in a while. Um, Small ones, not the big category 5 ones or category 4 ones. Maybe a category 1 or a 0.75. I mean, even when I was in West Virginia and Pennsylvania, they got tornadoes there as well. Uh, yeah, that's right, Blue Healer. Tornadoes, hurricanes, earthquake, take your pick. Don't forget wildfires. You know, California's had the wildfires quite a bit the last couple of years. Of course, we can only blame that on the leaders of California and their policy of no, let's not burn it, do preventive burns and stuff. Let's let the undergrowth grow out wild, and put out any fires instantly instead of let nature run like it should. Well, Lori, if you want to be with it, the only thing you got to worry about is volcanoes. Um, Geez, wow. I'm trying to think where every state gets some sort of trembler now and then. Especially even in Oklahoma and prairie states, Texas, and everything. They're getting they get little tremblers out there, but I mean, you're talking about like maybe a 4 once in a while. I like that, Whiskey Scout. You climb on the roof to see where the tornadoes are. You're right, Lori. The fires are preventable, but there's been a policy in California to put out any fire instantly and not do controlled burns to maintain the land. Prior to the white man moving into California, the natives there, the American Indians, used to burn areas all the time because they knew you burn all the growth off, all the shrubs and weeds off. You get nice luscious grass coming up. The wildlife, has nice vegetation. You had a lot of deer and stuff, and the oak trees and stuff need the fire for the acorns to pop open. The pine trees need it for the pine cones to pop open and release their seeds. And yeah, fire is a natural thing. Control burns are great. But when you get someone says, "Oh no, we don't want control burns because they're stinky and smoky, and you know we don't need them. We know what's best for Mother Nature. Mother Nature in a few years says, "Okay, time I'm going to slap you back." Yeah, my sister and my cousin are down in Texas now, and the thing they got to worry about down there, listening to them, is the fire ants, and some areas already have those the Africanized bees that have worked their way up from South America. There. Hey, Mimsy's garden. So yeah, there's hey, Ryan the gamer. Did Smoking Locust come in here? I must have missed him. If he did, I'm sorry. Yep, there he is. Yeah, there are really a lot of great places though to um, set up. Okay, Acres and Bacon, Idaho Falls, Pocatello area seems pretty windy. We have to last. Is that the norm for Southeast Idaho? Um, so yeah, so kind of, sort of. There are some days there's hardly any wind. Like right now, bring it up here again. The wind is 1 mile an hour. So 1 mile an hour wind right now. The winds have been mild the last couple of days. Last week we had 4 or 5 days of some really strong winds. Um, so it comes and goes like everywhere. When I was living in California, then in the Bay Area, we got winds that made the winds here seem tame. When I was living in LA, oh man, the Santa Ana winds in LA, yeah, you cannot hold a stick to those winds anyplace else I've lived. Those winds get blowing, and cars get sandblasted from those winds. So, yeah, the Idaho Falls, Pocatello area, yeah, we do get some wind here, but for me, it's in the right direction most of the time. It's blowing towards Yellowstone. So we're not getting the cold wind coming down from the north. We're getting, the wind coming up from the south. Yeah, yeah, that's right, Kathy. Every area will have its pros and cons. Um, Eden is not allowed for us to live in. So wherever the Garden of Eden is, we can't go back there, and so we got to deal with the mixture of the weathers out here. Yeah, but yeah, there's a lot of nice areas around here. Unfortunately, right now, since the prices are going up everywhere else in the country, the land prices are being driven up here as well a little bit. Every now and then, if you're hunting, like my wife and I, we hunted for a couple of years looking for property, and when we stumbled on this one here, yeah, we jumped on it, we got it. And as soon as the day we finished signing the papers on our property here in Idaho, someone came in and offered 20,000 more for the property, but we'd already signed papers on it. So yeah. Yeah, it's I love when I was when we went that year, we drove to Orlando for Walt Disney World. We stopped and we went to the coast a lot on the way back. Oh, I love the warm eastern seawater there compared to the freezing cold water we have here on the west coast, because the water on the east coast is heading north. The water on the west coast is heading south, so we're getting all that cold water coming out of Alaska down. Yeah, so yeah, everything has its pros and cons. Yeah, I mean, it's we actually even looked at Nevada for a while for our place. But one of the big problems that turned me off about Nevada is that the state claims all underground water, and you can't just go out and drill a well, without, going through tons and tons and tons of paperwork and trying to get permits and the long drawn out process to try to get a well put in. And most of the time, then they're still going to deny you. But yeah, well, like Lori, all right, I'm gonna shout out Idaho for it, Southern Idaho for you here. The winters. This is probably one of the worst winters that they've had for starting early, and temperatures. Like it was like 9 days into fall, we got snow, but then it disappeared. I mean, it snowed, and a day later, the snow had pretty much melted off. 2 days later, the snow was gone. But the temperatures were a little bit chilly and stuff, but nothing compared to where you're at up there. Like I said, it's 29 here right now. Refresh that again, see if the temperature's gone up outside. That's still 29. So it's 29 here right now. The high today is supposed to reach 38. High tomorrow's 38. High Saturday 38. Sunday's 40. But the lows are 27, 29, 28, 31. It's wintertime. All right. So Mary has 3 acres there in Arkansas. Yeah. Yeah. What I really wanted, I wanted to get at least 10 acres, but all the land that we were looking at that had 10 acres or more didn't have a house on it, or if it did, it was, 3 times what I paid for this property here. So I got 5 acres with a 4-bedroom house, 130,000. I mean, I couldn't beat that. It's better to stay in the lower half. No, I'm gonna get Scott mad at me. I think the lower half of Idaho is better than the northern half. Poke poke. All right, also gonna get the good simple good simple living head, because they're up in northern Idaho too. But I like the milder winters of southern Idaho. Whiskey Scout. Yeah. The problem I found with Oregon and Washington is that the demons are taking over there and passing stupid laws. And it's, yeah. There's Scott. No way. Scott loves his place up there in North Idaho. Yeah, we can. We figure if we get the Willapina greenhouse put in here, we'll be able to produce just about all of our vegetables and fruit from that, plus what we're going to have in the gardens and stuff. We'll probably be using 2.5 acres for, to do, probably where we'll put, animals and stuff, or maybe have large, just do corn out there where you have enough corn for the rest of it. Yeah, I know California's having 68, temperatures. Yeah, it's kind of weird. Some states make it illegal to collect rainwater, but California was actually encouraging people to collect rainwater because of the droughts and stuff. So yeah, it's kind of weird. Here it's like, you can collect rainwater if you want here in Idaho, but the thing is though, we got irrigation all over the place. So we have the irrigation ditch that comes through our property. We have 2 days. We're the only ones supposed to be pulling out of that ditch. So we can flood irrigate our property for 2 days a week. And so we don't need to worry too much about that. And the Snake River is 12 feet below us, off to the west of us, about half a mile. So the groundwater level isn't that low. We can drill down 20 feet, and we're into groundwater. So Jay, where are you again? I forget what state you're in. Lori, they wouldn't arrest you for collecting rainwater. They'd simply fine you and put the fine on your property taxes, I believe. Yeah, Missouri is a good state. Yeah, yeah. So Ohio has T-word. Yeah, that's a good spot there where you got it only 20, 30 feet down. Um, was it Ryan at Prescott Caliber Club in his place? His groundwater's down quite a bit. And I believe Reed in New Mexico, it's like 250 feet down is his groundwater. You're right, Simply Jan. The government should not be, trying to say you can or cannot collect rainwater. So what got going on here? Yeah, Jay, that sounds like a plan from Governor Gay Van Nuisance of California. Yeah, he has. I think he has a plan for taxing you every time you make love too. 20 acres, large house. 20 acres, large house, and a 40 by 60 shed, 200,000. That's not bad. That's not bad there, Blue Healer. If we could have found that here, we would have gone with, we could have found 20 acres with a large house on it here in Idaho for 200,000. We probably would have gone for that. McCoy's Oak Hill Farm, good morning. Yeah, yeah, those prices of the 90s are long gone. That's right, Lori. Yeah, the once the if the demons get their way, they'll be bringing all the refugees in they want, because they'll convince the refugees that that this is a democracy and therefore they need to be part of the Democratic Party when this is not a democracy, this is a republic. Mostly just letting. Cool. Thank you, Anna. Yeah, when I get done with this, I got a lot of stuff I got it done. I got a bunch of videos I got to edit and others I got to work on as well too. Whoa, Tibor, that was from 900 to 2,300 an acre. You made a little bit of money there on that. Yeah. So yeah, we got our plans here. When we build our Willipina greenhouse here, if you guys don't know what a Willipina greenhouse is, look it up. It's really cool. Uses geothermal um, the geothermal temperatures to keep it, so it heats it in the wintertime from the ground, from the air, the temperature of the ground to cooling it in the summertime. You don't overheat, and it's really great. When we get that in, we get all our orchard trees in. We're going to be putting in a bunch of putting a couple more apricots, pears, cherry trees. My wife has a list of different types of trees she wants to put in. We're going to we should be in 5 years fairly totally self-sufficient here as far as fruits and vegetables go. We're looking at possibly on the part of the 2.5 acres that we aren't going to be having in the garden and the homes and stuff, putting possibly planting alfalfa out there, and part of it maybe if we don't do the corn and stuff, and sectioning it off and getting a steer calf in the spring and just raising it out there throughout the year, and then in the fall when it's all nice, big, and ready, getting it processed so we have meat. And if that works out, we may be doing, that's how we may be getting our meat. We've also been kind of looking at possibly getting Kiko goats for their meat goats, but they don't graze. They like shrub and stuff, and we don't have much of that here on the property. Yeah, that's right, Jay. The politicians are isolating themselves so much that they will not have to face the consequences of what they're doing. I haven't heard that term, simply Jan. I haven't heard bummer before. I've heard abomination. Uh, Soda. Do you think, John? Okay, talking about geothermal triggers earthquakes like at the geysers. Um, you're talking about geothermal power plants where they're siphoning off the hot water, using it to run the steam turbines, and pumping the cold water back down in. Um, I don't think so. I think because the geysers have had, if you're talking the geysers area up in Northern California, that's had earthquakes for hundreds and hundreds of years. So, no, I don't think that. I'm sorry, Lori. Didn't mean to get that John Denver song stuck in your head. But the geothermal I'm talking about using here is basically it's like when we build the Wilpena greenhouse here, we'll just dig a trench out through amongst the orchard and area around and put in about 10 feet deep, put several pieces of 8-inch or 6-inch black flexible pipe in. And at that depth, it'll maintain about a 52-degree temperature. And we'll just, so we'll just have a little solar powered fans that'll blow the air around into the greenhouse. So in the wintertime, hey, well, so in the morning time, we will have a morning time. In the wintertime, we will have 52-degree weather air blowing into the greenhouse to keep everything from freezing. And in the summertime, when the greenhouse starts to overheat, we will be having 52-degree air coming into the greenhouse to cool it down. So it'll keep the greenhouse at a we can regulate the temperature, and we can set the thermostat to when we want to start blowing that cooler air into the greenhouse. And so, and it'll be 12-volt fans run on solar. And so yeah, it'll be a really neat system. We've been watching several videos of different ones of how they work, and they're really cool. And you grow year round. Uh, uh, yeah, unfortunately, so bringing those refugees in and setting them up in cities basically of their own type thing. Yeah, they kind of don't have to. They feel they don't have to adapt to our country's laws and stuff. Jay, you're close. He shouldn't dump them at the front gate. He should kick the gate down and uh, use eminent domain to take a couple of the houses in that gated community and pack them all in there. That way, they're inside the gated community with the demons. They have uh, the government should not be paying the wages of refugees coming into the country. They should. The only thing we should ever do with refugees is to pay to have for them to go to school to learn English and and a job skill. Once they have that job skill, they're on their own. If they can't make it, ship them back. I'm sorry. I know that sounds kind of rude, but you know, we should be giving hand ups, not hand outs. We should helping people up, not just letting them oh, here's money, here's money. You're entitled to it because you're a human being. Oh, you deserve it because you're a human being and you're voting for us. Yeah. Let me look something up here for you guys. So stand by one moment. Did I put that there or there? There it is. There we go. Let's see. And throw this in here. There we go. The chat there. Yeah, I just threw a link in the chat. If you guys haven't had a chance to check out this guy in Nebraska, he's a retired postal worker. He built a big, huge Willowpena. If you pay attention, if you watch this video and pay attention to it, before he built the Filipino, he was using the geothermal ducting I was talking about for his house to keep it warm in the wintertime. Unfortunately, Lori, that depends on which European country and whether the way the European Union is. Some of the countries have are basically now locking down and saying no more immigrants. They don't care what the European Union says. They're saying no. But yeah, some of them were sort of just letting them in, and they weren't having to uh, assimilate and be productive. They were, being a big burden on their welfare system as well. Oh, that's Tibor. That should never even existed. When my ancestors immigrated, they had to pay tax. They didn't get no friggin' 5-year income tax free crap. I'm sorry, folks. Shouldn't be using, but yeah, because I'm Heinz 57. I have ancestors in every European country. Italy, Spain, Norway, Germany, England, Ireland, France, Belgium, everywhere. And all my relatives that came to the United States had to learn English, had to be productive on their own. They worked hard. They weren't, oh, I need free stuff. Yeah, I agree with you, Jay. We should be doing the same thing on that. They should have to assimilate to our laws. We should not be changing for them. Yeah. Yeah, well, you're right. It used to be that way here in America, but a certain group of demons got in there and realized they could play games. And instead of calling the country a republic, which it is, they started calling it a democracy, and got those immigrants coming in thinking they had to register as a Democrat because thinking that this was a democracy when it's not, and therefore they were voting for that party. Yeah. Oh, what else we got here? Yeah, I think a lot of us are Heinz 57, Jan. Hey, Dave. Welcome here. Yeah, it's a huge word game. Yeah, because what I noticed looking back, yes, I had a political science teacher who pointed out a lot of stuff about how things had changed. It was, I believe he said it started with FDR calling the country a democracy. Prior to that, it was referred to as a republic by both parties. But I believe he said he started with FDR calling it a democracy instead of calling it a republic. And you know, yeah, things are just you know, if you look at what the difference between a democracy and a republic is, they may not seem like much, but it is a very big difference. In a republic, anyone, anyone can run for political office, be elected, you know, serve their time. In a democracy, anyone can vote for someone from the elitist class. Only the elitist class can hold office. And that's what a certain political party is trying to do. They don't want anybody, any grassroots politician coming up and coming in and screwing up their little scam to get rich on the backs of the working man. But so a democracy, if you're looking at a circle, a republic is dead center at the top, and as you go to the left, you have democracy, and you go through all the different things, and to the right, you go farther, and you start going that slippery slope when you get away from being a republic. That's why our forefathers, who were very smart, chose a republic for the form of government, not a kingdom, not a royalty, not a democracy, not a socialism, none of that stuff, and that's why they set it up so that we wouldn't fall into that trap. But the problem is, with modern communication and brainwashing of the mainstream media, which is swung to the far left wing nuts, they've been able to corrupt what our founding fathers put in place. All right, so Mary's father told him that she was found in a cabbage patch. Lori's mom told her that Lori came from Mars. Well, Jay, you got to realize that before the revolution occurred in our country, there were years of them our founding fathers first working the system, trying to do it through representation and through legal ways. But because of the royalty situation and the distance separating us from England, those in Parliament just kind of like, oh, you're redheaded stepchildren, no, you're just a source of money for us. And unfortunately, a lot of our political leaders are isolating themselves the same way. I said it again, they are not our leaders, they are representatives who think they are leaders and going off on their own. That's right, Kathy. That's another reason why the demons are so upset with Trump. He's not part of their little political group. Yeah, unfortunately, that's one of the things that we need a political leader to run for president who is going to pound it out there that this is not a democracy and this is a republic. And every time someone at a press conference says democracy, says no, he should say, no, this is not a democracy. We are founded as a republic. Say the Pledge of Allegiance. It says, and to the republic for which it stands, not to the democracy for which it stands. Yeah. Change the name of their child. Yeah, Social Security was interesting. If you look at the history of it, when it was first in place, it had regulations saying that the money from Social Security could not be pulled for the general fund. And then that certain wingnut party got enough votes to do a 2/3 majority change to the rate, the statutes that Social Security was founded on, to change it so that they could take money here, they could take money, and they just kept on whittling away at it until they, took away all the protections away from the Social Security program, and then it became open. Then it became an open feeding trough. Yeah, Blue Healer. Yeah, we actually had a really nice country too, and it sank too in the swamp. Yeah, Jay, it took them a while, but it was during the um, LJB's tenure that they really knocked the holes in a lot of the protections for Social Security. Yes, Jan, history books are being filled up with lies. One of the things I noticed lately that's going on that kind of really chaps my hide, you have certain political leaders saying our party's the one passed the Equal Rights Amendment and gave protections of civil rights to everybody. No, you look at that, what that party did. That particular party, zero, zip, nada of them voted for the Civil Rights Amendment. Most of them abstained or voted against it. It was all Republicans that voted for it. And LJB did not want to sign it, but there was enough votes that it would have overridden his veto. So there is some quotes on it of what he was saying about it, how they were going to he was going to sign it and tout it as his idea and behind it and everything, and use it as a way to re-enslave certain group of people by making them believe that it was the Democrats that were giving them everything through the Equal Rights Amendment. I ain't making this up. Do your own research. Check it out. You'll be shocked. What was my career? My career was across several different things. I started out in law enforcement, first for the College District Police Services. Then I went to the Sheriff's Department. When I was at the Sheriff's Department, my brother came to me and said, "Hey, I got a job for you, making twice as much money. You get to play in the dirt, running heavy equipment." So I switched and became an operating engineer, running dozers, loaders, excavators, stuff like that. I did that for about 15 years. Got my own contractor's license, a Class A general engineering contractor's license. And then after I got hurt on the job and got 3 bulging discs and 2 protruding discs, I started going back to school, got back into private security. Was doing that while I was going to school for several years. Got hired on at Chevron. At the time, it became from Chevron to Chevron Texaco, at their corporate headquarters in San Ramon as the supervisor for security, for corporate security down there. And I was there when 9/11 happened. And a friend of mine called me and brought me over to Homeland Security and I helped set up the Federal Security Directors Coordination Centers. And I just retired from Homeland Security in 2018, late 2018. I was the emergency management coordinator for Homeland Security. I wrote plans for responses to all sorts of emergency, everything from wildfires, earthquakes, floods, hurricanes, pandemic events, persons with infectious diseases, traveling states, hijackings. I wrote plans for all that stuff. Yeah, that's my main stuff for that. Also on the sideline in 1971, I was in Southern California during the Silmar earthquake, and as a scout, wrote a pamphlet for earthquake response and preparedness. And I started writing that. My mom got asked to do the same thing for the church down there. And so we collaborated and used what I'd written, and she pumped it up a little bit. And it was used for the Relief Society down in Southern California, and then it was taken from there, borrowed by the Los Angeles Fire Department, and they pumped it up a little bit more. But the LA Fire Department I saw that document back in 2004, and they were still had it on their website as their primary document, and whole pages were word for word what we had written back in 71. And so, but anyways, from 71 on, I've been learning, teaching, emergency preparedness and response, wilderness first aid, wilderness survival, and I've written how many pamphlets, booklets, what do you want to call them, on emergency preparedness. Nothing professionally published, but I'd write it up, run off my copies, and all the emergency preparedness fairs and stuff I'd go to, we'd give them out. Then when the electronic age came along, put it on floppies and then on CDs and give those out. So, yep, I've been doing a lot of emergency preparedness stuff most of my life. But yeah, so that's when I went to Homeland Security, that's what they put me in charge of, was emergency response and preparedness and stuff. Okay, here's a very important question. Okay, Lori, what's the very important question? Are you thinking about doing some classes on your lives? Heaven Essentials, could you clarify that question just a little bit? From what I understand, excuse me, Lori, the virus that's spreading over there in China isn't from what I understood, what isn't that bad. I mean, it's we're getting worse stuff over here. It's developing over here from the flu than what that coronavirus over there is. But it's not that well spread over there. But when it does, yeah, there will be travel bans probably put in place. Oh, preparedness classes. Actually, yeah, I do preparedness class training and stuff now. I do the emergency preparedness fairs here in Southern Idaho. Um, for There's been several of them I've done here. I also have a company on the side here, a retirement company called the Asset Center, and that's what I do there. I do home, go to people's homes or go with companies, go over there, what they've done so far, do an audit of what they have, and then work up a plan with them to get to where they want to be. Whoa, they restricted travel this morning, Dave? Whoa, okay, all right. So like I said, the procedures are in place. So when it gets to a certain level, yeah, okay, China has stopped travel from that one province, but yeah, it's probably still spreading. So, hey, Jehoiadak Maccabeus, guys, if you haven't checked out Jehoiadak, check him out. He's got some good stuff there. Real smart guy there. All right. Okay, give me a second here, guys. Let me pull something else up here for you. Opening it. All right, so let's see. Go back over here. Control V. Put that there. Put this over here. Share screen. Share screen. Bingo. Share. Okay, guys, this is my website for the Asset Center, the American Survival School and Emergency Training Center. If you go over here to it, I put the link in the chat there, where it says free documents. You click on free documents. Each one of these folders is loaded with free stuff you guys can download. There's documents on, like for California, the California Delta hazard, all the stuff around San Francisco, Sacramento, all the problems of all the Delta islands out there. There's communications information, earthquake information. So if I click on earthquake information, all of these are all the track where I've been tracking earthquakes since 2010 for Homeland Security. Every earthquake that year for each year, 6.0 or greater, and where its location is. I got to update 2019 now. But you got all these FEMA handouts. All the stuff's free, and like it shows, all the earthquake faults around California, because I used to live right there. Right there's where I used to live in California. But all those documents there are free. Emergency kits, I got stuff on emergency kits, all different types of emergency kits. Everything's free to download. Fire prevention response, flooding, food storage, information on food storage. Everything in here is free to download. The all these documents, water storage, planning for emergencies. So all that stuff is free stuff documents there. I got from preparedness fairs, I got all sorts of handouts here, all free to download. These are PowerPoint presentations, stuff I've done, and then there's a PowerPoint presentation that Ben Gilmore did on EMPs. You want to learn about EMPs? Check this out. He's got good information there. It's all free to download and look at, guys. Yeah, and so I got I got to add more YouTube channel videos to there, and some recommended websites. I also got some free books. If you guys want to check out some free books, the series here, the books in here are all free to look at. This one's been edited right now. Martha at Old School Prepper is editing this book for me here. No, she's editing this one, and Ash's farm. I can't pronounce it. She's editing that one. So these two are being re-edited. So, but Against the Wind is done. So, but yeah, those are some of the and those are free right now. You guys can go to those, look at that for free. But yeah, so yeah, most of the stuff I have on the website is free, but I do preparedness assessments for people in the local area here where I go to them and I check them out. So let me go ahead back here and screen. Catch that back up on the chat while they're rambling over there. Looks like. Hey, Tyler. Good to have you in here. All right. Okay, I want to take a look here at, go ahead and kill that screen off there. Get back here. I need to look at something here. I'm catching up here on the work, trying to catch up here, guys, real quick. Yeah, Lori, the books, Against the Wind and the Scout and the Ninja have a bit, of romance along with the action adventure disaster going on. All right, but yeah, I did not mean to write it as a couple of my real. You get, even I brought, I'm writing it's like I sound. Wipe my okay. This is a real tearjerker here, but yeah. But yeah, that's what we got here. Okay, I'll check that out here. Let's see here if I do this right. Go over inside here so I can open this up. That one there. All right, so I'll look up Hooples. HUPLE. Hooples. See if I can find it here. Okay, so there's his channel. Let's see if I can find that video here. All right. Power plant. There. What was the? There it is. So bring that up. 3, 2, 1. Okay, so pull this here. Come on. He's acting up. All right, so I'm going to put that link here and there. And Control C. All right, so this is Hoople's cat L EPL. His video on reality and the novel 2019 coronavirus on RN's view. So I'm just putting that there into the chat now if anybody wants to check that out. That's okay, Tibor. I looked it up and I put it on there. I'll got it holding it there so I can look at it later. Pete's Little Homestead. Hey, how you doing? Hard knack. Anybody else that slipped in that I didn't say hi to? Hi. Yeah. Now today is just a this day is just a solo one, like Steve, of course, their trainers does on Monday morning. This is just kind of like a little chat thing here. I just like to see, everybody get everybody talking on the side. I'll have my little rants, but I'll watch it and on the see what everybody's doing on the side there. Yeah, so Thursday mornings is just me up here and you guys chatting out what's on your mind. And when nobody's chatting about what's on their mind, I'm going to chat what's on my mind and hopefully get you guys chatting about what's on your mind. Yeah, Lord, I've heard a lot of people having that problem with the Apple tablets not being able to open multiple um, tabs up on the browser. Yeah, Heaven's Essentials. A lot of people's minds are all gardens in the lower states, but even up here, it's still got snow on the ground. My daughter and her husband are planning out what they're going to be planting as soon as it gets warm enough. That's one of the yeah, Tyler. That's one of the another reason why I don't do anything Apple. Yeah, it likes to sell you stuff you don't want. Really read your posts. Lori made a Freudian slip. Oh, I got to go back. Where's the Freudian slip? Oh, okay. Yeah. All right. I'm not going to go there. I'm just going to let that one lie. All right, Lori, I'll tell you which one it is. I'm not going to read it, but I'll tell you. When you're talking about on your tablet, I hate my tablet. Read the last word. I think it's the last word. Or close. No, not the last. It's close to the last there. Yes, Tyvek suits have use in against biological. Um, when I was working in construction for a while, um, I got they trained me for, sent me to the hazmat training, and the Tyvek suits are good against chemical and biological. And depending on what the biological is, you may want to do the double suit system where you have the regular Tyvek suit on and then the big moon suit on over that. But that's expensive. Dang, spell check. Yeah, before I found out about the Willapina greenhouse, I was planning on doing a high tunnel over the planter boxes and stuff to extend the growing season. But we still may wind up doing that a little bit, a high tunnel as well as a greenhouse. But I think the greenhouse, the Willapina greenhouse, is going to be what we're going to do. But there are several good videos out there, Jan, on high tunnels. Daniel Arms of Arms Family Homestead has several of them on his, you know, for his gardening stuff. All right, everybody, treat Lori nice. That was a simple, fat fingered mistake. That's right. Tell everyone this. Let it go. We should worry more about the fat fingered mistakes that the. Yeah. All right, Kathy. Thank you. Yeah, on one of my videos for my daughter's garden, we did a little planter box, and she put some hoops in that. So she's going to be putting the plastic back in that here as soon as the snow melts, because after the snow melts, we still get some late freezes around here. What blue healers say? Come on, mouse work. Got to go back up here. Check something. I missed something here in the side chat. Okay, I get it now. All right. Yeah, yeah. Disney songs. Yeah, actually, Jan, I actually bought my wife some little pop-up seedling cover, plastic things, that fold up, pops it up and it covers over the a small area, and a couple of hard plastic ones for when she's doing her seedlings outside on her trays in early spring. Because even in California, it can be starting to warm up, and all of a sudden we'll get a cold snap come in. So yeah, those things, those hard plastic ones, anything hard clear plastic, yeah, it works great. And it actually traps the heat a little bit better being hard plastic than the soft plastic. After the Imperial March by John Williams is a Disney song. Do, 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 do. Oh yeah. Did I miss one here? Moon Farm, hi. Missed you guys, missed you coming in. Oh, you're going to do the garden. You know, you take the wood, Laura. You taking the wooden pallet, we turn it up on its side, and put some plastic across the back, and then fill up the slots and stuff with soil and planting in that. Is that what you're talking about? Moon Farm to talk about is been bouncing all over the place. It's whatever's on your mind, whatever you want to talk about. We were talking about typos. Now we're talking getting back into spring gardening here with plastic things and different types of things to do this spring. Yeah, because I don't know if I had it in one of my videos what my wife did to our front yard there in California. She took a pallet and laid it at an angle and filled it inside so with plastic so it wouldn't fall out the bottom. And then she filled it full of potting soil mix all the way up, and then she planted strawberries in it. Off of root vegetables. Grow them in straw bales, yeah. Um, my wife was looking about doing that, was reading up on doing that, doing straw bales there. Yeah. Yeah, it's just, it's like, yeah, it's only, all right. So we're in the middle of, all right. So January 23rd. So actually we're only one full month into winter because winter started in, December 22nd, 21st this year. So we're 1 month in. We still got another 2 months of winter to go. So winter officially ends, hang on, let me check. I think it's the 22nd of uh, March. Let me double check that. First day of SPRI in 2020. Okay, it's earlier. It's March 29th. It's the first day of spring. So, and spring ends on June 20th this year. So, but last year we had I think in May, we had several really hard cold snaps in May last year. Yeah, my wife's pallets she's using for strawberries. She took a couple 2x4s and bolted to the side at the top so she can angle it up and down with the boards to get the right angle for the sun. Yeah, my youngest son last summer went and bought a bunch of heavy duty 2x12s, redwood, rough redwood. They're real 2x12s, and built some raised planter beds for my wife. Oh yeah, it's leap year! Yay! You haven't done a live stream on gardening yet. Um, I think Howie has. There's been several people putting out videos about their walking through their gardens and doing stuff like that. I'm not sure if anybody's done a live out in their garden yet. I can answer that, Jan. All right. Why we have a leap year? Because the orbit of the Earth does not take exactly 365 days. It's 365 and a quarter days to go around. So every now and then we have to add another day in to get the Earth back to the right spot. So winter, spring, summer, and fall all begin at the right time of the year. There was before they had leap year, the calendar got off by, I think it was like by 15 days or something, and they had to squeeze back in 2 weeks somewhere. Remember that from high school or junior high, where they had to squeeze time out a time in, and they had to add days all over the place. Yeah, so every 4 years, so 2020, 2024, 2028, 32, 36, 40. Yeah, those are all leap years. Thanks, Ryan, for throwing that in there. Now I know the Broussards have been talking about their garden. I don't think they've done it live yet on their garden. Um, and I know Stringfield Ridge has been talking about theirs, but their live's always been indoors so far. Um, guys, I can't really think of anybody done an outside live yet about on their garden yet. There's been several walkarounds where people go out and video walking around and then edit it and put it out, but it's not a live. All right, Blue Hill, we'll see you when you get back. Yeah. How if you guys missed the Dave's live stream last night, how he brought up some good important things about gardening and stuff. Um, about what type of vegetable stuff the garden to include in our diets and stuff. Beets is one of the things he was pounding through my thick head again. Now, unfortunately, it's kind of hard for me to take my computer outside to do a live. Um, but by the time spring rolls around, hopefully I will be able to do that. Um, I just got to figure out how to relay hookup or take my laptop out there and get a long cord for my webcam so I can walk around the garden with it. Yeah, Tibor, Stonehenge, and then don't forget another topic would be the Aztec and Mayan calendars down there. Lori, no, I do not grow beets. Beets are not one of my favorite vegetables. Um, I just they're not one I hate like Brussels sprouts, Yeah, I'm sorry. You will not get a Brussels sprouts past my lips. My mom burnt too many of them as a kid, and I will not never ever eat Brussels sprouts again. But beets is just something I've never really gotten into. Um, I know I need to start eating more beets. Yeah. Now the radish, Moon Farm radishes and turnips. I'm trying to remember who it was that had it. Somebody had was talking about how to use when you cook them, and oh, they're what they're doing. They're cooking them and mashing them and mixing them with potatoes, and you got like fully loaded mashed potatoes with all sorts of stuff in it to for the radishes and turnips for that. And radishes, there's something else you can use radishes for us too. The uh, beets, turnips, yeah, I turnips are actually supposed to be really good for you, as are beets, but you know, my mom did not know how to cook turnips. There are some recipes for using turnips and radishes and stews and stuff. There are things out there. You just got to look for them. Uh, I've tried Brussels sprouts again, as an adult, but I mean, as soon as I take the first bite, all that the nasty burnt flavor just comes, even though comes flying back, and it's just like, no, no, I just can't keep it in my mouth. Sorry. Yeah, my mom used to burn spinach too, but my wife finally, cooked it right for me, and finally got me over 10, 15 years to like spinach. She won't trying to get me to like Brussels sprouts. Da, 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 da. Turnips and stews. That's good. Uh, Another iPad bit that is shut down again. Eggplant is another one I struggle with very hard too. Yeah, zucchini and stuff. Something else my mom burnt a couple times, but yeah. All right, Laura, how do I make what? She said, how do I make them? All right, cooking with bacon and garlic, that might help. Everything's better with bacon. I am so glad I'm not. You people made me feel so I'm not so weird. Yeah, people saying eggplant is gross, Brussels sprouts, yeah, yeah, all right. But yeah, so I'm not the one that has funky weird taste. But some people love eggplant. My wife loves eggplant. All right, everybody, we're all heading over to Mary's. She's cooking bacon. Getting tongue tied here. Yeah, there were some things that my mom could cook really well. Other things she just just couldn't. I guess maybe it was because all of us kids running around got her distracted, and she burnt the Brussels sprouts and she burned the spinach and stuff like that at dinner time. Okay. I've never, like I said, it's been my mom used to do it and boil it with a little butter in the pot, but she always wound up burning it and stuff. So I've never done Brussels sprouts, Lori, as an adult. Yeah. Now you want to know something my mom could cook really good was fudge. She had all sorts of different fudge recipes, and from Thanksgiving through Christmas, she cooked fudge all the time, all the different ones, and she made little basket bowl things of different types of fudge with baggies of different types, and she used to give that way at Christmas time all the time. All right, Lori, I'll look for it in the email. The eggplant parmesan is one of the things that my wife likes to do. But it's just with me for eggplant, it's a texture thing that I don't like. It's like for me onions. When you take the chop coarsely chop an onion, and you got the pieces about yay big going into stews and stuff like that. I can't stand the texture of the onion on my in my mouth, but um the dehydrated diced minced onions, the small stuff. I'll pile that in when I cook because I don't I don't feel that in my mouth when I'm cooking it in spaghetti sauces and stuff like that. But the big chopped pieces of onion just drive me up the wall. So yeah, it's one of those weird things. It's like one of the things my mom and grandmother used to cook was bread pudding. I used to love that. My wife cannot stand it because the texture. She hates mushy bread, and which is kind of neat when she does French toast. She uh, quick dips it and cooks it dry, and it's so it really soaks up the syrup. Oops, bad me, too much syrup, too much sugar. Yeah, the dogs won't eat them, can't hide them in the napkin. Yeah. All right, Lori, that's an idea. Um, some of the food's going to throw them in a food processor and mix them in with other stuff. That's an idea to get through it. Yeah, my wife goes to like Costco or Sam's Clubs and gets that big, huge thick container of the dehydrated onions. And then she found, all right, back in 1971, after the Silmar earthquake, my parents bought a whole bunch of dehydrated canned foods in the big number 10 cans. And we still have those. They're still good because my wife found a couple of cases of the dehydrated minced onions in there. And she's been pulling those out now and using those. And those things are still good after what, 40 years. The dehydrated onions are still good. A lot of folks here in Oakland have tried where to go to silage works in all the raised beds. No way mushy foods, banana pudding. Mary, I love Jello, but some of the stuff my family does with Jello There's stuff called green jiggly junk where they add a whipped cream and Sprite soda to it to make a dessert thing. It just changes the whole texture and makes it even. I can't handle that. Uh, Zucchini, carrots, muffin stuff. All right, that's a cool one there. So that I should be throwing some of these comments up here more. Yeah, onions. The best way when you're doing onions is you keep them in the refrigerator, get them in the refrigerator, or put them in the from the refrigerator into the freezer for about an hour beforehand. Then they when you cut them open, they don't the vapors from it is still so cold it doesn't vaporize the liquid in it because it's the liquid. It's the vapors from the onions that mixes with the chemicals in your in the from the your tear ducts and stuff creates hydrochloric acid. That's why your eyes burn. Yeah, my wife would probably do. She likes doing zucchini bread and stuff, so she'd probably try that. Everything's better with bacon on it. Uh, okay, we're going fast. I just missed a bunch up there. Someone's doing what was it back up here? Lori's making French onion soup tonight. Blue Everclear. Yeah, I think I'm Everclear is really strong. Okay. Yeah, my wife has started planting more herbs and stuff. The lemongrass, peppermint, spearmint, all that stuff. She's trying. Want to start making some of her own extracts as well. All right. Here's another thing that possibility. But the problem is you're not going to get the onions. I mean, the lemons is not going to touch all the onion, but it may cut it down some. Don't know. Anyone has anyone tried that? Putting lemon on the cutting board before you rubbing a lemon on the cutting board before you cut your onion up. Yeah, some guys have all the luck. Okay, now we're getting to bartending here. All right, Lori has a good extract here. All righty, where are we at here? I need to. There we go. So, guys, vanilla bean. Okay. Yeah, yeah. Tyler's a little bit more just the sinuses because I actually brought in my one of my face masks uh, with the carbon filters and the HEPA filters on it for my wife to try one time, and it's when the vapors from the onion got made contact with the um, the eyes started tearing, and you had the chemical reaction from the what's in your tears, and the onions made the makes hydrochloric acid. But it probably breathing it through your nose is probably what gets your nose all runny from the onions as well. Probably same type of reaction there too. Uh, this is like meat cabbage varieties. That's something my wife wants to start planting. Is cabbage, wants to make coleslaw. Yeah, the problem is people don't overdose on extracts like they were chugging cough syrups. So that used to be a big thing. You had a bad cold and stuff at night, you go and you take like 4 times the amount of cough syrup you're supposed so you could get sleep. Yes, um, it was Tyler. It was the 3-stage filters. You had your um, it was the purple, yellow, black filter. So it was for organic vapors and chemical vapors and stuff. All right, Dave's going to post the link here. Swimming goggles for cutting onions. Hey, that's not a bad idea because the swimming goggles cut out all the vapor and water. It's not like regular safety goggles, which still allow stuff to come in. All right. All right, guys. Dave put this in here. Uh, Doom and Bloom is Doc Bones and Nurse Amy's website. So they got a information on that there. Let me see if I can pull that up from the other side here and put that up over here. What that one is. Yeah, if you guys missed Dave's Wednesday night last week, he had Doc Bones and Nurse Amy on there. Go back and check that out on Dave's site there. Let me see here. All right, let me throw this up here, guys. Everybody. All right, survival medicine. So this is Doom and Bloom Medical, and they got an article on here on the uh, coronavirus. Okay, and so they talk all about it here. So yeah, so so there's the article. That's the link that Dave put in there. Guys, you may want to go back and after the chat here and look at that and read up on that. That's another one for me to save there. Yeah, Kathy just put up their YouTube channel. They got a lot of great videos out there, guys. Yeah, Lori says she's been watching them for a year. What is the candle trick, Blue Healer? Burn a candle next while you're doing the onions. That might, yeah, okay. I can see how that, might help on that. I have to let my daughter try that. She's always cutting onions and forgetting to put them in the refrigerator first. All right, Ryan. Catch you later. Take care. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what the World Health Organization says on that. Yeah, it looks like. Let's see if I can find that over here for you guys. Um, all right, CNET is just putting. Let me throw this up here real quick for you guys, so you can see what I'm looking at. I just Googled World Health on the coronavirus. They're talking about 11 hours ago. New York Times put out one on the. See if I can make this bigger here. Zoom. There we go. There. Yeah. Now it's easier to read, guys. Uh, yeah. It reaches the U.S. Everything you've seen is putting that out. CDC. Old one. Nothing current from CDC. Uh, World Health Virus. So CNBC was 21 hours ago. That was yesterday. So yeah. So we'll see what becomes of that. Yeah, there's a like Lori talked about the mainstream media there. Yeah, it's take it with a grain of salt. Tibor saying a lot of Chinese traveling. It's a new strain being transmitted person to person. And Heaven Essential says, yeah, the devil works through fear. So, and along with that, though, so do the Democrats work through fear. Oh, we got global warming. We need to tax everybody for the sex. Yeah. Anyways, yeah, more ways to tax people to do stuff that we may or may not need. Let's get back to uh, the food. I like food better than stuff. Okay, so let me pop over here and see what Lori just threw up there. Laura Jane 1010. Slow down. Dan, slow down. Let me click on that link. Dang it. Everyone's talking so fast that Lori's link is going. I can't get my mouse to click on it. I'll have to try it again. Now I got to reboot the stupid thing. It clicked wrong. There we go. Okay. Open a new tab. There we go. Let's see what Lori's one there says. All right. All right. Yeah. So that's a YouTube video from Global News. So yeah. So Lori's link is a YouTube one you guys can watch. Oh, it's live right now. They're getting ready to go live here, so they're sitting around just 11:05. So they've been, looks like they're sitting there just talking, getting ready because the main panel's not in there. So let me show you that. This is what Lori just put up the link for. It is. It looks like the main panelists aren't here yet, so everybody else is just getting ready. So that's going to be later here. But save that link and you guys can go back and look at it later. Yeah, Lori, gloves, you get the nitrile gloves, the ones you can get at Harbor Freight or at Sam's Club. Just they're not the latex, get the nitrile ones. They'll protect your hands. Never have too many tomato plants. Yeah, my mom used to have so many friggin' tomato plants, different varieties, until they started cross mixing. But like Tibor says, asking if Lori was it was the plant itself to burn your hands. It's when she peels and cuts them. But even without working with them, when we work with the tomatoes, we put the gloves on. We're pruning them and training them and stuff, and breaking the extra little sprouts off to keep it growing right. Because the green sap from the tomatoes just make your hands reek of it for hours and hours afterwards. So we just put those nitrile gloves. Yeah. But hello everybody. Just remind everybody, drink water, hydrate. I can't remember exactly what the story was about tomatoes, but originally they were thought to be poisonous and not to eat them. I was wondering when you're going to catch that, Tibor. And Lori's going for more coffee. Yeah, 4th cups. Yep, you're buzzing. All right, put this back over here. Yeah, we on tomatoes. My wife plants like 3 or 4 different varieties of cherry tomatoes. She has ones that are bright yellow, others that are orange, and the red ones. Some other ones, and some weird shaped ones. She plants the Roma tomatoes. She plants the beefsteak. I think the other one's called Big Boy, and she gets a bunch of them from our neighbor up the street, Kathy Eccles. in California. There, Kathy was head of the horticulture department at the Apple Valley College, and she's got 10 acres, and it's all, yeah, she's got tons of stuff out there. Okay, all right. Make my coffee in the French press. It's amazing. When I used to go to scout camp, one of the assistant scoutmasters had a French press for his jet boil backpacking stove. So he was making French press coffee at scout camp. So when the time comes for the end of the world or whatever, he's all set to keep going with his French press coffee so long as he can get beans. A lot of plants are far just different cousins of other plants. Um, yeah, there's a lot of things that are of the same quote family, like the nightshade family. Some things in nightshade are poisonous, some things are not. Now, personally, I don't drink coffee. Don't hate me for not drinking coffee, folks, but I don't drink coffee. Um, I don't even drink hot chocolate that much. You know, so I'll drink the hot spiced apple cider. I'll sip on that, but I'm not much into those type of drinks. Give me good old fashioned grape juice or apple juice. That's the type of stuff that I like to drink, which is one of the reasons why we're putting in so many apple trees. Of course, then it's also to make apple cobbler too. It's also one of the reasons why we're putting in peach trees or peach cobbler. I love peach cobbler. What else we got here? Funny, Dave. Funny. Just because you work on the shade at night doesn't make you nightshade. Yeah, yeah, Lord. Yeah, usually, I just grew up just drinking milk for dinner and with my breakfast cereal. Sometimes as a teenager, I'd have milk with my lunch, but right now it's just mainly I just use milk on my shredded wheat or my raisin bran. All right, now everybody's picking on Dave. Yeah. The thing was, my grandmother drank coffee all the time. The smell of coffee was something I grew up with, but I could never, I mean, tasted it once and it was like, oh, I just couldn't stand it. Yeah. Our refrigerator here is kept really cold for the milk. Milk should be really cold. It makes it last a lot longer too. We actually had cows from the time I was about 16 to 23, and they were a Guernsey Jersey mix. I tell you though, we'd get like 2.5 gallons of milking from each cow, and we had those big gallon glass jars, and we'd fill those up, and we had neighbors and stuff that'd buy milk from us. But in a gallon jar, in about 24 hours, the top quarter of it was super heavy cream. I mean, this cream was so thick, literally, I could take a quarter, 12 inches above it, and drop it on it, and it wouldn't go into the cream. It's just go thud, and you sit there. The cream was so thick, made the best ice cream. Yeah, that's something we all need to do. We need to plant more herbs and learn more about them and which ones are good for what, and find out, which herbs have to be done fresh and which ones can be dried and dehydrated and used for later. More information. Outdoorsman, hello. Glad you can make it. I'm just about to ready to wrap it up here. Well, if it keeps busy and we keep people in here, I may keep it going a little longer. All right, they're picking on you, Heaven. Heaven's Essential. Yes, we did as a test one time. We cleaned the quarter first before we did it, and washed and everything. But yeah, it was the cream is so thick that it would, the quarter would not go into it. So yeah, that's one of the things my wife wants to do is to, when she sets up what she calls a dinner garden here, she wants to have one section of it for all her herbs and stuff, but she may wind up putting that down in the Willapina once we get the Willapina built. Does she do hardneck? Is this done on YouTube channels, or is it just a classroom where you have to be local to her? Okay, what's going on here? Opening a new tab. All right, I'm looking to see what oh, okay. Sure what we're on here. This is 100%. Okay, that's screwing up there. I don't know why. CNN's screwing up here. Dave, on your link, it's cutting off the top of it because it's got some funky banner thing of ads up above that's just screwing everything up. I can't put that one up. I can't even put it. Everything's acting up so bad on that. Maybe it'll stay now. So what Dave just threw up there on that link where he put Scream is it's screwing up again. Dang it! This thing just keeps on popping up wide there. I don't know that's CNN, so can't trust. CNN's always screwing stuff up. Of course, you guys, you know what I call CNN? The Counterfeit News Network. Alrighty. Ah, yeah, I try to scroll down to see the top of the banner and it keeps on throwing up the ads. Oh well. So that basically says Doomsday Clock was reset Thursday to just 100 seconds before midnight, the closest we've ever been to complete a total annihilation of Earth, at least metaphorically. It's 100 seconds, not 100 minutes, 100 seconds. So we're not hours, we're not minutes. Yeah. So what are the factors that cause that? Yeah, it's just a bunch of chat. Climate change. Oh, climate change. What a rumor. The climate changes all the time. Man's not responsible. We're still recovering from the little ice age, guys. When England grows better wine, produces better wine than France, then we'll be back where we were in the late 1200s. Yeah. Yeah, Laura, you say it till 2 minutes, but they just, CNN is saying it's, 100 seconds was reset. So, and that's by Alicia Lee of CNN. So, yeah, we'll see what that story is. All right, Scott, hang iron, swing it good. Yeah, Tibor, nice song, Eve of Destruction. Let's get back to herbs. Okay, what did your herb classes are not cheap. Let me run back up here, see if I can find it here. All right, I'm backing up here through the chat here for a second, guys. Okay, seeing what was going on there. Yeah, my pet peeve is that a certain political group is using quote climate change as an excuse to add taxes to us to do certain things to change the climate. They're not going to be able to change the climate. I'm sorry. The earth is too friggin' big. The solar system is too big. The sun is too big. They're not going to be able to change it. All they're going to do is line their pockets with it, with contracts going out to people that are supposed to be working on a solution. Yeah. Okay, so I guess there's some herbal classes online. Cool. All right, Heaven's Essentials. Thanks for coming in. See you around. Uh, all right, guys, it's 11:30. I've been up here for 2.5 hours. I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. I know we still have some good conversations going on here on the chat, but it's I got to get going. I got some things I got to get going to here. So I thank you all for coming in, sharing your thoughts, and uh, giving us all something to think about. One of my takeaways is about herbs and stuff and different ways to eat. Try to figure out a ways to eat Brussels sprouts and turnips and other foods that I should be eating. I know Howie gave me some good suggestions last night on how to what to do with beets. So, well, McCoy's Oak Farm. Um, do some videos on what you've learned over the last 25 years there. All right. All righty, guys. I'll see you later. And I may or may not be doing the Survival Saturday here. I'll have to see what's going on and who else is online with lives Saturday. But tomorrow night, I will be doing the Friday night special tomorrow night. And pop this up here real quick. And so, probably going to tomorrow night's is going to be what is your state of evolution? And we're going to be talking about how you are evolving to become more prepared and increasing your self sustainability. All righty. Okay. See you all later.